Hi everyone,
Hi guys.
Vlad here. I'm founder and CEO at Pitfalls. Today we will talk about email deliverability, and especially we'll talk about cold outreach campaigns, how to land to the inbox using like cold email marketing tools, leads, etc. So my co-host today, Dan, our
Hi guys.
executive from Folderly.
Yeah.
Few words, Dan.
Yeah. So hi everyone. My name is Dan. I've been in the space in like cold outreach and cold emailing for more than 4 years right now, and I've seen a lot of cases, good outreach, bad outreach, and today we're happy to go into the detail and actually show you how we distilled our process and what's the tips and tricks, what to avoid, and maybe a couple of words how potentially we might help you with the process. So yeah, let's start.
Basically, when we're talking about cold email marketing, we talk about few like milestones that you need to achieve with your marketing campaigns. But there is a lot of limitations, like people who don't know how to send emails can mess it up with their ESP's limitation. For example, if you're user of G Suite, Google Workspace, just like for your information, you can send like a day as a maximum like 400 emails or so. And most of the people always sending like more emails. And as a result, you will end up in spam because you're violating those kind of daily volumes of your email service provider. The top reason that we can count that and why emails end up in spam, it's about leads. That a lot of folks buying bad leads. A lot of folks never cleaned up their database, never paid attention to bounces and other things. So the another like common major thing across all of our clients that if you want like set up a domain, mailboxes, or new email campaigns, usually there is like common thought that it's better to have new domain and separate your email outreach on the like mirror domain, for example, by .com, .org, .net, another domain, just to be sure that your main domain never end up in spam. And as a result, you're buying new domain, you put there from scratch like high volumes, and as a result, if this domain like never sent email before, it end up in spam. What's on your mind then? What kind of most common email delivery pitfalls do you meet with our clients?
So like I've had like maybe 50 different clients with 50 different use cases just in the past month, like October. And I would say the most people are just starting out with cold outreach. There is like a lot of like the industries growing, like the email platforms like Outreach and SalesLoft, and like every sales engagement platform is really on the rise right now. So market is like expanding 20% like every quarter. So a lot of people just starting to explore this industry, and they don't know where to start. Of course, they read like a bunch of articles, they watched webinars, but I would say the most important part here to realize that you're not doing mass mailing. You're not doing like email marketing where you can just email like 100,000 people or a million people just within one day. The main thing to understand here is that it's more about like personal communication. So the means that you're using, for example, a corporate G Suite account or corporate Microsoft mailbox is really like, it's not meant to send a high volume of emails. So it's rather quality than quantity. So pretty much if you email like 100,000 people through like just, I don't know, like any random email marketing software or like your own server, and you get like 5% of open rates, that's equal really to emailing like 2,000 people, but getting like 50% of the inbox. So like the most important thing to realize from the very beginning is that it's about personalization. It's about being personal. It's about having as little leads, but you got to nurture your list. You got to avoid buying just leads from the internet, or like just purchasing it. So you got to curate your own list. There's like tons of different softwares. We have some information on that as well. So right now the internet is so like deep in our lives. So you can segment like the smallest like category of people who are really interested in your product. And you got to email those like with highly personalized emails. And of course, sometimes you can mix up other channels like LinkedIn, but today we're going to talk about the email itself. So I would say start small, never use like any mass mailing tools for that. And of course, we're going to cover some like piece by piece here, like what exactly are the steps to make your outreach really successful, and so that you are not just wasting your time and money, on tools and leads, or hiring some people who are responsible for that, but you really can do it yourself, like pretty much within like a couple of weeks, and get some clients already like after the first month. So we're going to talk about like the cost of acquisition and the ROI of the channel. So I think, I'm done. So let's cover the topic.
Yeah, so going back to deliverability, so the one of the crucial thing that affects your deliverability is that, and the most important, how you send your emails, to whom you send your emails, and how they interact with your emails. Because basically, if you will send bad emails, bad email copy, to the bad leads that never open your emails, you can never expect the result, right? And talking about engagement, this is the crucial thing in the like email infrastructure in overall meaning. So the way your users interacts with your email identify where it lands in the footer emails for footer recipients of your emails. So keep in mind that sending to the wrong audience, sending bad email copy never give you the better result, and even more, they will start to destroy your domain authority, mailbox health, and even affect your IP address if you are sending from like dedicated IP addresses. So talking about bad thing about deliverability, and especially for cold email outreach, that you will have bad email performance at all. So talking about main metrics for cold email marketing would be your spam rate or email deliverability rate, how many emails end up in spam versus how many emails end up to the inbox folder, right? And reply and open rate that identify your result and performance and success of your email marketing campaigns. We underline the common problems that you will face with those metrics that, for example, if you're sending cold emails, that 50% of your emails or more end up in spam folder, and you are wasting leads, you harm your reputation, you harm your domain mailbox IP addresses, and you don't even getting results. You like doing it in the way where you like having negative effect for the further reputation of any email, any outgoing traffic from the domain and mailboxes that you have under the domain. And especially you justify successful your email marketing campaign or not over your open rate and reply rate, right? If you will have like 5%, 15% open rate, it's nothing, because you're sending, for example, 1,000 leads. If like only 50 people will open email and no one answer, this kind of best results. Yeah. So talking about open rate, how it calculates and how you can like increase it, we'll talk it after in the footer like slides. So you need to know that open rate, reply rate can give you the great results. So you can expect that if you running your cold email marketing campaigns in the right manner, you will see that you will have, and you will see the increasement in your open rates. You will see that open rate 50% plus is really possible to achieve if you will just follow simple rules. The rules I mentioned before, like following the limitation, like the thing that Dan told you, that you never need to bot those leads. And you just need to take care of all of those things. And from this perspective, email marketing starting to be a very technical thing. So in order to get those kind of great results, getting more replies, appointment like from meeting schedule from your emails or sign ups from your email that you are sending, you need just to understand. You need to understand that you need to take care of different things like leads, content, your domain authority, your mailbox health. How do I warm up my email? So yeah.
And one important thing to add here is that when you just starting out, it's very important to keep it all those like factors in place and keep your engagement rate up, because ESPs like Google and Microsoft and Outlook, they really track what's happening with your emails within the inbox of the recipient. So if you're just starting like getting in spam, like 10% of your emails in spam, so that means that this 10% will never actually see it, and it actually like compounds as like a snowball. So it's like super important to set the right foundation so that it scales super fast, because once you get into spam, there's always like it always adds up. Really, it's more the next week, it's more the next month. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit later. So we talked about laying the right foundation for it, and let us continue with some of the just practical implications of what is in the whole email outreach that you really need to pay attention, like just hands-on.
So yeah, let's see how cold email marketing outreach can be the most effective lead acquisition source for you and for your marketing and sales teams. So first of all, to justify how cold email marketing can be more effective than cold calling, more effective than ads, is kind of simple from the beginning. So you hand created your data that you work with. So basically you identify your ideal customer profile and the companies or like prospect clients that you want to work with. You have this highly targeted segmentation where you can when you can send emails to like audience A, which is like, for example, marketing companies over the California, or you can like starting to send emails to segment B that can be like companies over the Europe that like produces something. So the way cold email marketing works, that you can be as mean dedicated as you can be. So basically you can find the right prospect, you can find the right like customer from the beginning. So you're seeing them over the LinkedIn, over like any other tools like Crunchbase, Angel, etc. So basically you can create your list before any like marketing starts. For example, having inbound marketing where you work with organic traffic and this is not the right leads sometimes. So basically, cold email marketing save you from the, in some way, qualification of the inbound meetings that can be like from the countries that you never want to reach or any other reasons. So, and another topic here was cold email marketing, the scalability of this channel, right? So basically, if you want to send more emails, getting more leads and having more clients at the end, you're just having more mailboxes, more leads uploaded over those mailboxes to send emails from. And basically you have predictability that how many emails I sent, how many emails, like how many meetings you're scheduling from those kind of amounts of leads that you're uploading to those marketing campaigns. And basically you understand from the beginning how many leads do I need to reach out to in order to get my clients. So, and as this is kind of the great thing with cold email marketing. And talking about return of investments that you're getting from the cold email marketing, that it's into comparing to inbound marketing where you work with organic leads, you can achieve your results faster. And by meaning faster, I mean that if you work with cold email marketing and you will target the right audience, talk to the right people, you can like shorter your sales cycle. You can reduce it up to like 3 months or even less. And in comparison to inbound marketing, that can be like 6 months plus, just nurturing your clients. And talking about customer acquisition cost, working with inbound, you heavily invest to your content, your social engine optimization, into like ads, etc. So basically, you have this high customer acquisition cost, and you are getting more leads, but less qualified. And you have, on the other hand, you have cold email marketing, where you have segmentation, you have right audience from the beginning, and you know how many emails I need to write to the right person in order to getting reply from them, and as a next step, convert them to your clients. So, want to add something, Dan?
Well, yeah, I just want to add like a couple of things about the first point here is that you actually determine who you're reaching out to. So, for example, of course, you can write like Facebook ads, you can add like paid traffic from the Google, but you can never really predict who's going to be there. So you can, of course, but it's not to the precision that cold email actually allows you. So you're building your startup, but it allows you to really reach out to those people who you see as your ideal customer profile. You can get instant feedback from them, and sometimes I've seen the cases where people were building startups. They were getting a bunch of meetings through the cold outreach with the right, like with what they think would be their target audience, but turned out that their target audience actually doesn't need it. So they actually pivoted and understood that what they actually need. So, cold email outreach would be like the really great tool for like the customer discovery and market validation as well. So it's only up onto you, like who you want to talk to, and if you're doing all those like little steps to do it, you really will be talking to someone you want yourself, not somebody who just finds you on the Google.
Right. And let's like dive deep into more technical topic here. So we'll go over with you with compounds of high email deliverability for cold email marketing. And the things I mentioned before, we just summarized on 6 topics here. So basically, the things you need to take care of if we're talking about cold email outreach is first of all, your email infrastructure. What domains are you using? What domain zone in place? How old is your domain? What is your mailboxes on, like G Suite, Microsoft Office 365, AWS, etc. Your IP addresses, are you using shared IP addresses that, for example, Google and Microsoft gives you, or you have dedicated IP addresses as like SendGrid does, and you're choosing your right tool for those kind of campaigns. You can choose from the variety that's out there in the market. But the main thing here with email infrastructure is that you need to take care of the technical settings behind the domain, behind mailboxes, behind your IP addresses, behind the tools that you are using. So basically, it's your DNS settings or DNS settings authentication. You need to understand that email marketing from nowadays, like it's not that you will saw like 5 years ago. Now it's more technical topic. Each and every sales person or marketer person need to understand that they need to take care of like those technical stuff like SPF, Standard Policy Framework, like DMARC, DKIM, and the BIMI record, in order to just having permission to send emails from the domain and have this kind of positive authentication that this domain or those mailboxes or those tools have the right to send emails from on your behalf or from those tools. So basically, you need to polish your DNS. That's be your first step when you want to reach some prospects via like using cold email marketing, and by the right domain with a top domain zone like .com, .net, .org, .io, and others. Having mailbox on the legit ESPs like Google Workspace, Microsoft Office 365, maybe AWS and others. Having the right tool that like known on the market, for example, Outreach.io, Reply.io, maybe SendGrid and any other. So there is a lot of tools. So the next step would be before you start to send like any email from your first email would be your email copy or email content that you're planning to send to your clients. Basically, you need to understand that a lot of people alongside with you sending a lot of emails over the globe. I read an article from Statista or any other like
Wired.
Wired, that already over the market per minute, like all people over the globe sending around 200 million emails per minute, basically have this huge impact on those SMTP protocols, to IMAP protocols, and all like email infrastructure. And a lot of people never send emails or like sending really bad email copy.
Yeah.
And they can mess it up with words that in the way that if they send some like email template, that end up in spam because they never know about DNS infrastructure, those kind of DNS identification that they need to care about. And any like next email that they send from the domain of mailboxes end up in spam because they never have care about their technical thing. But a lot of people never know that marketing starting to be like technical stuff for the last, I guess, 2 years.
And especially over pandemic, everyone just, were locked in their homes. They needed to keep their business running. So I saw like a huge surge in demand for the cold outreach, and everybody just started emailing like 5x than before. And right now, like probably like 2.5 to 3 years ago, like Google and other ESPs, they realized that, it cannot be the same anymore. So they almost simultaneously tighten up their policies around, the sender reputation and the spam filters and actually the sender score. So before that, like everybody, in their eyes were a good sender. So you can send whatever you want. You'll get in the inbox unless you prove that you're bad. And right now, when you register your email, you're bad right away, and you got to prove to them that you're good. You got to build up reputation so that they can really, mark you. Okay, this is a good sender. You can pretty much, will allow you to get through the inboxes of your customers. So that it's a new reality, and we got to deal with it every day. And we are dealing it within Folderly, within Belkins, like 10 times a day. We run into those discussions with clients, and our message is that it can be like, you got to make your own research, and we're here to help you. But once you realize like the process, the underlying like mechanisms of how this works, you can pretty much scale it for your company and get some really good results. So let's continue.
Yeah. So as Dan mentioned, that this kind of your sender reputation building that you need from the beginning, start to think that you need to be trusted in the eyes of your recipients, because there is a lot of restrictions, a lot of spam words out there, a lot of messed up with technical stuff that never allow your emails to reach to your recipients. And like moving forward with database, this is the one more step before any emails will be sent from your mailbox. You need to cleaned up your database, avoid in order to remove any bounces that can be appeared, because a lot of tools like ZoomInfo, any other like Apollo, for example, that have this hand created list for databases for any need. Basically, a lot of people use them. A lot of people over this base for this basically recipients that you want to reach over those tools, changing jobs. This kind of the thing with data that it can be old just for months that from the month that you just get it. And basically, you need to understand that a lot of emails can be the crucial, a lot of leads with email addresses that never was checked can be a crucial thing with for your email deliverability. Basically, it can harm your sender reputation if you will send emails and they will bounce back because of any reason, basically. So you have a lot of tools on the market that that help you to clean data from further email outreach campaigns, avoid those bounces, avoid spam traps, and work only with leads that exist. So basically, valid leads that passes all those verifications. And last
And
thing.
I wanted to add here like something. If you're using like expensive solutions like Zoom Info is like or like Apollo or Lead IQ or pretty much any database, or you're just like scraping LinkedIn. So even like the most expensive solution on the market, as Vlad mentioned, they can be like that can be outdated just within a month. So we highly encourage our customers to have something like never bounce or zero bounce or like pretty much any alternative for like email verification, and double check and sometimes even triple check, because like the general recommendation and what we've noticed over like 6 years working in cold email outreach, that having more than 2% of bounce rates, so like you're sending more than 2% to non-existent emails, it can really harm it, because Google will be like, okay, guys, why are you sending like massive, like, okay, 100 or 200 emails to the emails that never existed? So are you guys mass mailing? So we're going to punish you and put you in a spam folder. So that's a very huge point here. Like you can even hand curate your list. So just to start, right? But as you scale, you might be actually needing something like never bounce or zero bounce, because that's if you pass this threshold or 2%, you're in a big trouble. So better pay like $50 for like this email verification than spend like months and months and thousands of dollars actually, creating new emails and buying domains and all that stuff.
Right. And the thing that we forgot to mention, never buy like million of leads that you are planning to send, because you can like you can expect that a lot of people already bought this list, and a lot of people like already spam it as hell. And if you will send your emails on top of that, the best result you can expect is they will report you as a spammer. So basically, try to hand create and segment your leads from the beginning of your campaigns. Yeah, and moving forward with maintaining domain health and mailbox health or B health, this is the thing that new trend or the email marketing. And if we're talking about maintaining domain health, it means that you need to have something running on the back of your email marketing campaign that help you to have high standard reputation, that help you to avoid spam or fix spam problems if you like have a lot of users that report you as a spam, because this is called email marketing, because they never expect emails from you.
Yeah.
And this is the reason why we built Folgerly, and basically this is our solution that help you to maintain deliverability, that help you to avoid spam, that help you to fix those spam problems, help you to move out of the spam or promo folder to the inbox. And as a result, you will have great open rate, great replay rate, great click-through rate. So this is the main compounds of email deliverability nowadays. So moving forward, we want to share with you some Folgerly pro tips, and then prepare you 6 like points that he want to share with you how we run here our marketing campaigns.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we have already touched some of them, but nevertheless, like if you repeat it, it won't hurt actually. So okay, validate. I talked about it like 2 minutes ago. Then one of the most important ones would be, of course, reaching to the target audience, and that's super important. Why? Because if your product is for DevOps, right, and you're reaching like to a marketing director, like in the e-commerce brand, so they will actually perceive your emails as being spammy because you never did your research. You actually reached out to the wrong person, and they're like, even though your email is getting to their inbox, and actually them just discarding your email as spam and just deleting it. So the main phrase that really summarizes the cold outreach nowadays is like, show me you know me, right? So leads are like everybody's just reaching out to, like, especially if you're like VP of marketing or a chief marketing officer or VP of sales, everybody wants to sell them stuff. So they just, in the very morning, they have like 50 emails and, they just delete them. So you got to make something that would actually make you stand out. So I will cover that in the fourth point here. And of course, that set up your DNS, because that is something that already Vlad already touched on. And without it, your endeavors, even like cleaning up your list, reaching out to the right audiences, like actually will actually go in vain, because those emails, like your tool, like your email marketing tool, is not actually validated by your domain. So it has like no allowance from the domain. So this will be actually 80% and ending up in spam. So again, touching on the engaging content. So I mentioned that people are like, especially like big rich companies, everybody wants to have like nice logos on their website. They want to make case studies, and those busy people, that they are overwhelmed with emails, right? So you gotta be creative. You gotta use your, use your creativity, and pretty much making that emails clickable. So, okay, this guy actually make research on me, so he knows my pain, so he pays attention, right? So, okay, he might talk right now to the similar guy in a similar company, so maybe he already like solved the pain for like my fellow industry guys. So I might click on this email. So stand out with this subject line. We have like a big study on that. So never use just some generic ones. Never use like more than 5 words within your subject line, because it's just like too spammy. People don't like texts, right? So people are overwhelmed with content, and the main, like what people sell right now, really, like with all the TikTok and all the YouTube, like email marketing, all that stuff, that's people attention. So you got to just stay out and make people remember your emails with cool subject lines, cool content. And by the way, we have this attached service that Vlad might also touch on.
Yeah.
Within our mother company. We actually help you understand your business better, like clear out this value proposition that you might not have realized yourself, because we're talking to like a lot of customers. We can actually help you create those engaging and I hate to say this word, but templates that convert, but it's actually like what you want.
It's the spam word, actually.
Yeah.
Emails that convert. So also I have one more thing to add here. Never use ready-to-use templates that you will find if you will put in Google like email marketing templates for cold email marketing. You will put it will appear that there is a lot of articles over the HubSpot that a lot of like million people are using alongside with you, and if you will send those emails, it never opens because a lot of people use alongside with you, and they actually doesn't care about what are you sending, because they received 10 emails before with the same topic, with the same email content. So basically, yeah, West Balkans that we on the market for 4 years already, we find out the like this kind of secret sauce for template writing. We find out the way how we can engage with the recipients in order to get as many like positive response from them, as many like feedback or engagement from them. So basically, we like created a whole like service across those kind of across this kind of function with email marketing. So we cover this template writing. We trying to find this kind of pain way, analyzing psychology of the behavior of your recipients in order to get those kind of words, get those subject lines that will be opened at the end. So basically, like summarizing content, just take care and try to understand that this is the only thing that recipient will, this kind of your first look from for you as a sender, as like intro from your company, it's intro from you. Try not to be generic, try to be as much like creative as like possible. Try to personalize email, because no one likes to like getting emails like, "Hi Vlad, hope you are doing well," and you just, "Oh my god, I'm so bored of this email, so I just want to like move it in spam and move forward." And next email will be the same. I give like 50% chance that it will be the same with the same like beginning manner. So hope you are doing well. It maybe will be hello instead of hi, but all emails the same. And just try to be more creative, try to be more unpredictable, that all of those kind of like competition over the inbox of your recipients out there. So try harder here.
Yeah, and of course, never bug your recipients with like 15 follow-ups. So I've seen this one guy who actually emails people within 3 weeks every day with a different subject line, saying something like, and emails are pretty much the same. He's asking for the time. He's actually not mentioning what he's selling. He's just like, overwhelming them. And of course, nobody likes it. So if you have like so much time emailing, right? So if you're emailing me 15 times a day, like what the hell are you doing that? Like, are you building your product? Are you actually doing your work rather than emailing me all the time? So that's just, pure courtesy not to overwhelm your guys with like 15 follow-ups. And of course, the thing that Vlad mentioned within the email infrastructure talk, that just be within the natural mailbox limits. And of course, the best results we're seeing within cold outreach is not using like any like email marketing softwares like Mailchimp and like ActiveCampaign. Probably it's not built for that, so it's better to have like some corporate G Suite, corporate. What's it called? Microsoft 365 account actually connected to some sort of sales engagement or like sales automation platform. So that email is like pretty much plain text with just you reaching out like in a humble manner to your recipients, asking for giving some value, asking for the time to talk. So that's what people like. People actually don't respond to like flashy like animations, beautifully designed templates because it's not human. People don't like it, of course. And yeah, the limit here is like 400 emails a day. So try to keep it like even less, because you might just pay like $5 for an extra mailbox than being in spam. So it just scale not the volume per email, but just maybe have 5 different email addresses, like maybe your name dot your last name, just the name, something like first letter of the name dot last name or whatever. So you know how to do it. So that's the
Also, to like continue what Dan said, that you need to stick to like our best practices from all experience that we're like having here. We suggest you to put like to send like to follow the following rules. Basically, to have one mailbox that sent around 200 emails per day with 300-second delay between emails with legit content to the right leads. And if you want to send more, not increase, like try to do not increase your limits under this mailbox. Better to create like 5 or 10 mailboxes, split it up all of those volumes, like 1,000 emails per day from each and every mailbox. And better to have like 100 of mailboxes rather to have like 5 that's sending like 1 million emails. So basically, by the way, we will share this kind of best practices after the webinar, so you can expect them over your mailboxes. So we'll share with you the main strategies, main limitation, main like core focuses that you need to take care of with mailbox, with the content, with your DNS. So moving forward, let's talk about cold outreach strategies that drives revenue. So basically, I will start with the first, then we'll like add something with me. So as we mentioned before with Dan, personalization is the key. So the way you work with your email content, the way you work with your leads, identify you and help you to like even this is the thing which help you to go over those email problems, email infrastructure, the Google spam filters, etc. If you just will be not that similar as your like competitors, as your colleagues, so anyone. Basically, you need to personalize your emails, you need to personalize your leads, and in a way, personalization, I mean, use different variables, not like simple name, company name, industry name. Try to find like dig deeper. Try to find out personalization that will be not generic. So from nowadays, I can say that personalization, the right personalization help you to convert and engage with your recipients, with your clients, basically. And examples of this personalization, having like, for example, the nearest street to office of your client that you want to have coffee with him. And it's interesting because I know that from the email standpoint, if you understand where your client works from, and if you will send emails that I will be there at 5 o'clock, let's grab some coffee, better to have, hey lad, hope you're doing well, so you understand that. So basically try to dig deeper to the personalization and find out the key data assets from company or leads that you want to target. For example, their recent post over blog or LinkedIn, or their opinions or their social media, or maybe the company having open hiring. For example, if they hire some digital marketers, you put over the emails information about, I thought that you're hiring on the Glassdoor, and this is the main reason why I'm reaching you, because we did this, and this. So basically, yeah.
So avoid spam words. So we touched on that. So you can just Google the list. Probably there's 800 different spam words, and free, now, get, right? What else?
Guaranteed.
100% guaranteed.
You win a jackpot.
Yeah, you win a jack. So not only those, that's obvious, I think, but sometimes even the words that you not expect to be spam words really are. Something like the word marketing actually is a spam word. So, and if you use it just a couple of times, that's all right, but still, don't overwhelm your templates with spam words. Of course, you can Google the list. Never use caps lock. That's obvious as well. So, and the third one is my favorite. So I'm a huge believer in A/B testing. So that's how I actually found out the best templates that's working for me. And all the softwares that you can find on the market, probably not all of them, but majority of them will have this A/B test functionality. So for example, you have an email thread of 4 emails, and you can actually, within the first email, you can split test and see, okay, that 25% of all the emails will be sent with using template number 1, 25 template number 2, and so on. So and later on in stats, you'll see what converts better, and that's how you can actually distill what your customers like, what they're reacting to, and that sometimes it might not be what you anticipated to be, because your customers are different people, of course. So A/B test, and this will actually lead you to that perfect, or set of perfect, almost perfect templates that you can continue using, and pretty much not just A/B test once. So that's a continuous process. Industries change, people change, opinions change. So just try to be on top of your email marketing and your cold outreach all the time, because you cannot just set it up and set it and forget it. So that's the job you have to do all the time, talking to customers, understanding what words they use. You might call your product in one way, but you realize that your customers refer it using another set of words. So you can try to include how they refer to it within your email, hoping to, so that they convert better. And of course, the CTA, that means call to action, and that's a huge thing, right? So you send an email, hey, John, I'm doing this and that. So, and that's it. So what the call email should answer to one very simple question is that, so what? Right? So, and call to action actually lays that foundation for the next steps. So maybe you want to have a Zoom chat, which is everybody uses that. Maybe you want to have the interview. You want to ask for their opinion. Maybe you're doing a startup and actually want to make user research. Maybe you want to send them some piece of content. Maybe you want them to join in a webinar. So whatever, but just be as specific with the reason why you're emailing. And that CTA is call to action is actually, will disclose that reason to the customer. Yeah. Never use personal emails. That means never use gmail.com, yahoo.com, and other just free ones you can register, because it's not scalable. People tend to not believe those. If they can not just Google your domain and see that you're a legitimate company, go on your LinkedIn, see your face, pretty much like someone who emails them. So never use that. So it's pretty obvious, but sometimes I run into those clients, so I need to educate them that it's not the way it's actually done right now. Of course, don't forget to follow up. So that's super simple. Like people, and actually like bunch of companies in sales engagement did this research, and they show that majority of customers either receive to the first email just the second they got it, like the day they got it, because it actually hits their pain point, and like the next email that they reply to is the fourth one. So you got to keep following up until you get this reply to them. And of course you can follow up using other channels as well, that also helps. But actually just accept that people will not reply to your one and only email, right? And that's the thing I already touched on. So don't be afraid to mix other channels. So right now, like LinkedIn is huge. Of course, they have their own like limitations and rules to follow, but still it's like kind of, we see that it's starting getting more and more effective. And the key here is like not using just one channel, but trying to, and again, A/B test your email outreach. Try to make some LinkedIn on the first step or a third step, or just actually at the end. So you find this like secret sauce for specifically your company, because it might be like super different. So if something works for you, this might not work for a neighbor or your, whatever. So just keep engaging, keep discovering. So yeah, that's the continuous process. That's not just one thing that you need to do.
So moving forward, so we have a lot of questions over the chat. The last webinar, we had so many questions that we haven't so much time to answer all of them.
Wow, that's a lot of them.
We have around 50 questions, so we will start to answer them with them.
Cool. So you first.
Okay, so just wanted to check if this recording will be shared with us. Yes, like 100%. Next, yours.
Okay, so does the email attachment matters? Yeah, it matters because again, we're talking about like more of personal emails rather than like email marketing. And so ESPs like Google, they just do not understand why would you email same PDF file to 1,000 people, like, right? So it just doesn't make any sense to them. So just try to use links, but not within the first email. That's a huge thing as well. So try to use links that point on your website, not some other like third-party website, like, whatever. You can just send your portfolio, but be sure to host it on your website. So it's very important to only send the links that use the same domain the email was sent from, rather than having some third-party ones.
Okay, moving forward, one more from the Kristen. My team and I have personally experienced issues with attachments. I think it does make an impact on deliverability, and thought it can be really helpful to drive value.
Yeah, that's what I told. Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing that we discovered how to send attachments, if you're a Google Workspace user, we find out the way that you can, it's not like recommended to use, but we find out the way. And if you upload your like presentation or deck on the Google Drive, and you will put the link over your like email that you want to send, it will be appeared as attachment, but you put the link. So it like sending a link, but you will send an attachment. This is something we are trying to A/B test with, but we cannot guarantee that this will deliver result because you are sending link, and we just suggest to not use any links. But if you will send lower volumes, like 10, 50 emails as a maximum, it can work. So moving to the next question.
Yeah, let's find one.
There's
like a discussion going on here. Okay, all right. So let's find some questions here.
Okay.
Oh yeah, how does an alias count as a separate email, Vlad? That's your topic.
So this is a great question, and you need to understand that if you are sending from Alias, a lot of our clients try to practice this alongside with sending email from the one mailbox and try to split the volumes with Alias mailboxes. But from our experience, we saw that you have only 3 entities that you need to take care about. So basically, you need to understand your domain health, mailbox health, and IP health. So talking about Alias, it's related to mailbox health. And you can imagine that you have one mailbox, for example, vlad@coldrelay.com. And I have another patterns from my name as Alias emails. But at the end of the day, I have one sender reputation across all of my domain, across my mailbox. So we find out that if you want to like send emails from the Alias, it doesn't matter because it almost works as the same as your mailbox. And if you want to maintain and fix those spam problems that can be appeared, you just maintain your mailbox. And if you maintain your Alias emails, then like those engagement that will go back and forth with this mailbox will end up with main mailbox, not an Alias. So basically, you still work with your main mailbox.
Yeah, the next question would be what email clients do you suggest if not using MailChimp? And which touched on that. So there's like two different like industries pretty much, like the email marketing, which helps actually staying in contact with your existing subscriber base and sending like some of the content like every month, or a newsletter, or like nurturing them. So it's like kind of different than from like reaching out to the cold client. And we are talking more about the cold outreach here. So I would suggest just Googling like sales engagement software, like what's that? Sales automation. So something like Outreach, SalesLoft, Woodpecker, like Reply, and any alternative, basically something that connects to your own mailbox rather than using their own servers. So that's the way to actually send like plain text emails that will actually perceived by Google and other spam filters like as being more reliable, because you're just sending not more again than 400 emails, and this would be like much more trusted by the ESPs.
So moving to the next question from Michael. Hey guys, what do you do once you will have your domain blacklisted, emails going to spam? And if anything can be done, is it worth it? So our main goal with, for example, with Folderly is to simplify this email deliverability mess that can be with your emails and email marketing in a overall manner. So basically, our goal is to have one domain with a like legit credibility, with legit health, and main mailboxes that send emails from this domain. Basically, we want you to stick with the one domain and build the credibility over your domain mailboxes, and avoid the thing that your domain blacklisted and you go to another domain, you kill this domain, you buy like trying to buy another domain, and you're doing this like back and forth. Our goal is to have one domain, a lot of mailboxes if we're talking about cold email outreach under this domain. All of them like follow the rules we just discussed. And if you want to send more emails, you never like having more domains. You having more mailboxes, and you work with your sender reputation across all of those entities.
Yeah, and the question about thank you. So how do you build a new domain? So it's actually super simple. And again, that has to do with domain reputation. So a good practice here is to have, like, if you have some sort of email marketing going on and some sort of cold outreach, so you'd rather split those domains so that it does not actually intersect, and your sales team is not dependent on your marketing team, and vice versa. So you actually can go to like a domain registry, like Namecheap would be one of the most easiest one to use. You just purchase your domain. So again, it can be like don't use something like .agency or .company or like any other like super new ones. Yeah. Sound weird. So the best one we actually realized working the best is .com, .io, .net, .org, like those legitimate ones. So just go there. They will allow you to set up your DNS there. Sometimes having Cloudflare on top of your domain will also help because it's some sort of proxy. So if you have like a domain registered on GoDaddy, for example, already that you want to use, you can add Cloudflare for easy management. So, it's super important to set up this domain correctly. And we at Folderly would do it with our email audit. So we look into your domain, we see what might be omitted within your like SPF setting, because like you may have all those records already intact, but just having like one extra dot, one extra letter, or one extra like parentheses or like semicolon can have this there will be an error and it can actually affect this. So like very important before launching the cold email outreach to set up your domain, to warm it up, and to maintain this through the email deliverability software. So that can actually help you, build up and accumulate those positive reactions to your emails. So, for example, within Folderly, we have this like our software can pretty much help you stay out of spam, stay out of promotions, and pretty much gain this positive reputation, so that your real email outreach is affected. So that's the answer to your question.
Moving to the next, the best way to manage multiple inboxes. So there is few strategies behind. So first, we are using most often, we're putting forwarding across all of the mailboxes that we managing. So for example, I have 50 mailboxes that sending 100 emails per day, and I want to get replies to like main mailbox. I'm putting the forwarding to all replies, and I reply and work with engagements from the one main mailbox, and I'm sending emails across multiple emails. So this is the main this is the one strategy. And the second, you can have some tools. Again, a lot of outreach tools allow this. Maybe Streak for Google Workspace will work. So this is like kind of the most efficient way to manage multiple mailboxes.
Yeah.
So questions keeping like coming. So we will trying to cover more and more. So Kristen, ask the one more question, follow up that you discussed with domain.
Okay. So how do you suggest we incrementally improve our email domains if we were to keep the ones we currently use? So again, that's the question of the scale, and that's the question of your the fact that you can actually cope with all those emails. The general recommendation would be to use separate domains, as I mentioned, and you can have most, like you can have, for example, two mailboxes, two domains for your cold outreach. And again, you can pretty much like buy like G Suite accounts. You can A/B test it with Microsoft 365, because if your client base is actually huge enterprises, so they use Microsoft. So it might be better to have like if you're reaching out to a huge Fortune 500 companies, that can be beneficial to have a Microsoft. And if you're reaching to SMBs, which mostly use Gmail, that can be actually beneficial to have G Suite as well. So that is up to you. So, but there's like just one example how this can be managed.
Yeah. Moving to the next from Paula. So any insights after sending the first email? Do you call your prospects? How long we should wait? I'm sure you also receive marketing emails. What worked for you and got your attention? So good one. So from the first email, so a little step back. So we're suggesting to having, as Dan said, that like 5-6 email follow-ups in the sequence. So sequence, basically having 6 emails. First email and follow-up, maybe the next thread, and follow-up in this thread. So insights from the first email indicating how healthy your mailbox is. So basically, if you're having less open rate, less replay rate than expected or seen before, there's something wrong with something. So basically something with your maybe domain, maybe mailbox, maybe with your leads or content that we discussed. Do you call your prospects? It depends on the need. So basically we can have pre-qualification call in order to qualify your clients before moving to your sales executive. But most of the time we're trying to stick to the email, because you know how it works. So basically everyone doesn't like calls because it wastes basically time. You can be in the middle of something, and like on the other hand, you have email when you can like read email, like snooze it, or like answer it later, and or you will catch up your client at the right time on the right place, and it will she or he will answer over your email. And
another one to add on the calling. So majority of the softwares that perform cold outreach automation, it will actually give you the stats, like how many times this particular recipient opened this email. So if you see like, okay, he opened the email for 10 times in the past hour, so that means he might be actually interested and he's reading it, he's reading the content. So giving a call, of course, will not hurt.
Right. So what insights on the marketing emails we're receiving? So we're receiving a lot of marketing emails. So I guess from the morning, I received like 100 plus emails, a lot of about link building, a lot of some development propositions, a lot of newsletters. Basically, I really like to read creative emails, and if I find out it valuable from the subject line. So the one trick that last time tricked me, I saw for the first time that Beamy record worked in the right manner. So Beamy is a brand notificator for your domain, for your emails. And I saw, instead of profile picture, I saw GIF animation. And I saw that it went like, from the dark, it appeared that there's some portrait or face. And I just had the thought that, interesting, how he managed the GIFs in their email accounts. So this is something never like seen before, or seeing very rarely, and you never saw those emails before. Or like interesting subject lines. So basically you analyze your mailbox and you like putting content that you need to, that you want open like in spam, or like just read it or archive it, and others you just analyze your subject lines the most of the time.
Yeah. And also there's like a lot of like, it's a new wave of cold outreach. You can use the video, so it's like solutions like Vidyard and any other one. So if you have like 100 people that you really want to talk about, so you might consider just recording 100 different videos for them, saying their name and just greeting them. And it's actually not an attachment, but rather the link that renders a picture. So it's not really hurting your reputation. So I've tested it sometime in the past, and it actually worked. And another way could be like just recording one video for like everyone, but rather, having some explanation why you're reaching out, like how you find them, and just being honest with them really works, I think. So that is also like my piece of cake here.
Yeah. Next question from Vlad. Have your clients experienced any kind of problems in the past with Apollo database? Is it the best suggestion to go with it? Also, same question for the SendGrid. What would be the best choice in your opinion? So this is the tricky thing with any database and any tools that provide you with a database or leads. So you need to understand that a lot of people alongside with you use those databases. So basically, if you want to find out or target like chief executive officers in New York with company size like 500 people plus, and you know that this is kind of common filtration, you need to understand that there is some people out there that trying to Google the same audience, the same ideal customer profile, and email them alongside with you. So basically, the main thing with the database, you need to hand tailor it, and this is what we're achieving with Balkans. So basically, we have like 50 plus people working in the research department that handily create these databases. They trying to find out the right leads that never used before, and this is the one of the core value from Balkans. So basically, we're spending a lot of time with a research and defining your ideal customer profile. We trying to like verify leads. We're trying to debounce them. So we like implement all of those best practices before we like put those leads over the marketing campaigns we launch. So I had a like good and bad experience with both, like for example, Apollo and ZoomInfo. But you just need to understand that it's not the cure using the one tool for everything. So basically, using the ZoomInfo or Apollo never like be a solution if you want to find out or clean database. So basically, you need to use, for example, zero bounds in order to avoid bounces or spam traps or any other things with database. And if we're talking about solution for email sendouts, for example, SendGrid, all of those solutions works with their I guess they work on the same way. And SendGrid, Outreach, Mailchimp, Becker, this is the only difference for what kind of email marketing this tool is. So, because, for example, for warm email marketing for your subscribers, newsletters, or for cold email marketing, or for cold outreach with a follow-up with cold leads. So SendGrid good for both, but for first, I would like you to use dedicated IP addresses and maintain them in order to scale your volumes up to few mil. And if you're using SendGrid for a cold email outreach, don't forget to follow the common rules, limitation, brand links. And I know in the SendGrid, you need to authenticate your domain mailboxes, put the brand link over your DNS settings. So take care of the technical setting of the SendGrid. And the best choice for the tools that were used so far. So because of the specific need of Balkans and specific project management for our B2B lead generation, we work with our own solution. We work with few others like Replay and Outreach.io, basically. And they pretty covers our need. But for example, for a marketing side, we work with HubSpot, with SendGrid, and maybe with Mailchimp. Kristen definitely recommend calling and LinkedIn. Social selling is the king. By the way, guys, I know it's kind of a great topic that Kristen raised from this kind of, or I guess last week or beginning of this week with LinkedIn. It's hard to avoid some questions or blocking of your identity if you want to outreach someone over the LinkedIn. So just take care of your LinkedIn accounts and try to not automate everything over the LinkedIn, or instead of having the great results, you will end up with permanent block from the LinkedIn. So just heads up for you. And yeah, social selling still king. So this kind of all questions we had so far. One more question come from one more person. How long does it take to warm up your new mailbox?
So how long it takes? The new one is actually a pretty relative term, right? So if you just purchase the domain and you set up all those DNS settings, it can be pretty fast, meaning that you can go with any warm-up solution. Folderly is one of the best ones on the market, of course. So it actually can take 3-4 weeks to actually get the domain and the email to a decent level that you can pretty much simultaneously use. Just starting small, 50 emails a day, you can start sending this emails to your customers. But actually, to get to a good, stable, and scalable result, you can actually need 12 weeks minimum. And of course, one of the things that people forget about is you need to keep the deliverability maintenance going on for as long as you're sending any cold emailing, because just people don't like receiving emails all the time. They might have a bad day. They might be in a bad mood. They can just forget that they were in contact with you, forget your name. They can just delete it or whatever. So cold outreach, if you want it or not, even if you curate your list, you validate your contacts, it can just drag you down for a little bit. But having this tools like Folderly that will accumulate positive feedback, positive reactions to your emails will actually keep up with the process and outweigh the results, so it stays the same. So I would say if your domain is super new, you just bought it, have it within Folderly at least for 3-4 weeks before sending out cold emailing. You can start small, incrementing the amounts. You can start with 50. The next week you can send 75, and so on and so on. So you can get to a reasonable level. And of course, don't forget to not overuse your one mailbox. You rather create like 2 or 3 ones to send like 600 emails daily rather than sending 600 from just one. So it's like more scalable, and it's like much more expensive and long and tiresome to spam fix rather than having your mailboxes in a good shape from the very beginning.
Okay, this was the last question from the audience we had. So thank you guys for being with us. It's a pleasure to
Thanks.
having all of those questions. So we hope it was productive for you, and you will implement those changes and be more effective with cold email outreach.